In the headlines, authorities say no life lost in Lagos building collapse. Police arrest Kuje prison SKP in Ogun. Former SGF Babachir Lawal joins many others to reject APC's Muslim ticket, asks Buhari to revoke Shettima's nomination. And on the foreign scene, Sri Lanka declares state of emergency hours after president flees for Maldives. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. Now, authorities in Lagos say no life was lost after a two-story building collapsed in the Palm Grove area of Lagos State on Wednesday. Public Relations Officer of the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA in the Southwest region, Ibrahim Farinloye, who confirmed the incident, said the building was still in use before it crashed at about 12 midnight. Farinloye said the four families who were in the building as at the time of the incident escaped to safety. Also speaking, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency said the building has been cordoned off. Wednesday's incident is the latest in the chains of building collapse recorded in Lagos as the government works to stop the trend. One of the Kuje Correctional Center escapees was on Monday arrested by operatives of the Ogun State Police Command. A statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer Abimbola Oyeyemi said the escapee, 28-year-old Yakubu Abdul Mumini, was arrested following information received by a policeman at Shango-Ota Division Headquarters that the convict was sighted somewhere around Shango-Ota. He confessed to the police that he escaped from Kuje Correctional Center on the 5th of July 2022 when the center was attacked by bandits. He stated further that he was convicted by the Kogi State High Court for conspiracy and culpable homicide and sent to Kuje Correctional Center. Meanwhile, the Jigawa State Police Command on Wednesday said its operatives have arrested a suspected drug dealer identified as 33-year-old Mahdi Salisu of Taura Town, alongside 9 suspected criminals, following a raid on criminal hideouts and black spots at Ungwar Gabas in Taura local government area of the state. The command's spokesperson, DSP Shisu Adam, in a statement said intelligence gathering led to the arrest of the drug dealer. The statement further said operatives found 102 wraps and some dried leaves in a nylon bag suspected to be Indian hemp in his possession. The statement said the suspects will be charged to court at the end of the investigation. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police, Jigawa State Police Command, CP Aliu Tafida, noted that raids on criminal hideouts and black spots will continue in the entire state. Now to politics, where former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, has rejected Senator Kashim Shettima as vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC in the 2023 elections. In a statement on Tuesday, Babachir, who had been a vocal supporter of Tinubu, condemned the action of the presidential candidate and urged President Muhammadu Buhari to exercise his powers as the commander-in-chief and as the APC leader to revoke Shettima's nomination. He also said that Tinubu must also be told that there will be consequences for his choice, as some Christians will revolt against the APC, and this will put the chances of his election in serious jeopardy. Meanwhile, the Nasiha on Political Development Initiative of the Ummah has called on religious leaders to focus on issue-based campaigns rather than religious-inclined agitations that will aggravate the challenges of peace and security affecting the country. The National Coordinator and Chief Imam of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Bashir Nkuzo, and the National Secretary, Sani Idris, said this in a statement in Minna, the Niger State capital, while reacting to protests against Muslim ticket by the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. They pointed out that the decisions of political parties to present Muslim ticket has never been dictated by any Muslim organization, but rather a party internal affair that has to do with winning projections and South-North zoning arrangement. The forum advised that agitations for domination in politics should not dominate political discourse at this critical period, when Nigeria is faced with several socio-economic challenges that required all hands to be on deck to find lasting solutions to the problems. The forum also noted that, taking into cognizance the fragility of Nigeria's juvenile democracy and too many challenges that confront her unity and mutual coexistence, there was an urgent need to draw the attention of religious leaders and some Christian clerics to refrain from fanning religious intolerance and mistrust among citizens. Still talking politics, the crisis rocking the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has deepened following resignation of key members of the party in the state. While the members are yet to get over the shock of the resignation of strong supporters of the leader of the party in the state, a former governorship aspirant in the state, Tonye Princewell, has also resigned his membership. The report.
Reacting to the development, the APC Assistant Publicity Secretary in the state, Darlington Nwauju, described some of the defectors as those who have added value to the party.
Politics in Nigeria is not ideologically based, and so you see this sort of thing when once it comes to transition seasons. A few of the individuals that had made valuable contributions to the growth of the party in time past, but majority of those who have resigned are persons who have for long left the party, technically speaking. And so turning in resignations on social media and all that, some of them even with party letterhead papers, showing that they do not even understand what they are doing.
Darlington, while commenting on Tinubu's speak, expressed optimism that the presidential candidate would have consulted Wale before making his choice. Meanwhile, some residents of Port Harcourt said Nigerians should focus on the value the candidate may add in achieving good governance, rather than focusing on religion as the basics for choosing political leaders.
The onus lies on a presidential or governorship candidate to decide who should be on that joint ticket with them. So I believe that the candidate must have consulted widely before making a choice. So we'll live with that.
Unless we leave religion aside, whatever is the situation of this country, right, we can get it right. But if we continue to talk about religion, this person is a Christian, this person is a Muslim, it has nothing to do with people's moral. We keep on talking about one seat alone or two seats alone. We talk about the presidency and the vice presidency. People don't talk about the National Assembly, which is by law in a democratic government. This is the people that make the law.
The issue of his religion shouldn't have been a very serious issue if not for the level of religious rife and unnecessary escalation of religious interest. What would have been more reasonable would have been the issue of our regions. But again, beyond the issue of region.
However, there are reports that more APC members may defect, but there are no mention of the defectors joining other parties.
And the Independent National Electoral Commission on Tuesday said it has completed 12 out of 14 activities on the election timetable. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu disclosed this in Osogbo, the state capital, at a stakeholders meeting attended by the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, as well as the governorship candidates and representatives of political parties in the state. Hamid Oegbadi filed in this report as presented from our studio.
The Osun State governorship election will hold on Saturday, July 16th. It is the last major off-cycle election before the 2023 general election, which is just 227 days away. Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, says necessary arrangements have been put in place to ensure a successful poll in the state this weekend. The INEC chairman said the only two outstanding activities are the last day of campaign by political parties, which ends at midnight on Thursday, 14th of July 2022, and the election day activities on Saturday, 16th July 2022. While assuring residents that the election will be free and fair, he called on the people of the state to play their part to make the entire process successful.
And specifically sections 121, 126, and 127, there are specific penalties dealing with private conspiracy, dealing with electoral offences of election day and dealing with undue influence. And each of these sections, 121, 126, 117, prescribe punishment ranging from fines to terms of imprisonment or both.
The Inspector General of Police, Osman Alkali Baba, said necessary arrangements have been put in place to ensure adequate security in the state throughout the election period.
I also wish to assure that the personnel of the Nigeria Police Force and indeed all other security agencies that have been mobilized to complement the police shall remain impartial, calm, and professional in the exercise of our statutory duties as provided for in the Electoral Act as amended and other enabling laws.
The Onyobife, Oba Adeyeye Enito Ogunwusi, warned politicians and their supporters against electoral violence to ensure a peaceful exercise.
You are not greater than Osun. You are not greater than the state. The state is greater than you. Anything that is greater than you, there is a limit that you can do. Please, we're praying and begging and appealing to all of you, do not incite the youth of our very peaceful state. Do not use every means of desperation that you want to get there by all means. Let us leave everything to God Almighty. People know what is right. They have a sense of right and wrong in terms of what they want to do, in terms of who they want to support. Let us leave everything to the people. Let us leave everything to the electorate, and let us leave everything to God Almighty.
Meanwhile, Action Aid Nigeria has trained 315 election observers to monitor the July 16th governorship election in Osun State. Country Director, Action Aid Nigeria, NAOB, and the training exercise charged the election observers drawn from various local government areas of the state to be objective in their reporting. Hamid Oegbade reports that Obi, who is also the convener of Nigeria's Civil Society Situation Room on election, warned election observers not to interfere with the process, but to only observe and note their observations.
The essence of this meeting is to train 300 observers and redeploy them to the communities, to all of the local governments. They have come from all far and wide, and at the end of the day, we deploy them to monitor the logistics of a deployment of INEC to different locations. At the end of the day, we hope we will give the reports. We will see some of the lessons, we'll look at the lessons from it and see how INEC can also tidy itself. Give the report. Normally, we give the report to make sure we see gaps and lessons that have come from there. At the end, we make our reports to them. We hope that getting the locals involved, these are not coming from outside Osun State. They are all from Osun State and they are all from the local government. Ekiti, coming from Ekiti, we have lessons from there. Now we are better off, we are happy, we hope that we can get to the next level and hope that the contribution from there will also be something that will make the 2023 election better.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, concerns over a rising population in Nigeria. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now, another look at our top stories. Authorities say no life lost in Lagos building collapse. And police arrest Kuje prison escapee in Ogun. Moving on to other news now, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered a total ban on all use of police spy vehicle number plates by vehicle owners across the states of the Federation without exceptions. This, the IGP said, is irrespective of whether it is authorized or not, as all authorizations have been revoked indefinitely. The order, according to the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi, is necessary to forestall the continuous disregard for traffic rules and regulations and other extant laws guiding road use by individuals hiding under the privileges of spy police number plates. The IGP has therefore directed that police officers and officers of other security agencies attached to VIPs who use the spy number plates should ensure prompt compliance with the directive or risk being arrested for violation of the order. Meanwhile, the IGP has directed commissioners of police in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, as well as their supervisory assistant inspector generals of police, to give full effect to the directives as contained above. Now to health, where the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 357 new cases of COVID-19 among the wave of fresh infections resurging in parts of the country. In a tweet on Tuesday, the NCDC said the fresh infections were confirmed between July 9th and 11th. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 258,874 since the first COVID-19 case was recorded in late February 2020. Of the confirmed cases, 250,456 people have been discharged, while the number of those who died from complications relating to the disease stands at 3,144. These cases were reported in 5 states and the Federal Capital Territory. And in preparation for the first fully digital census in 2023, the National Population Commission, NPC, will commence its trial census on Wednesday in Anambra State. Federal Commissioner representing Anambra State, Chidi Ezioke, said the exercise will take place in all the 7 designated towns: Akuku, Oka Ititi, Alo, Nokwa, Nobi, Oba and Ojotu in Idemili local government area of the state. Ezioke further disclosed that the Commission has trained 1,146 enumerators and local government supervisors to conduct the exercise in the above-mentioned local government area of the state. He explained that the exercise will avail the Commission the opportunity to test all aspects of census operations, from planning to implementation, logistics arrangements and management, questionnaire design and format, training procedures. Meanwhile, experts have warned that the current population growth rate has consequences if not speedily addressed. This comes as reports indicate that Nigeria's population will hit 216 million by November. A cross-section of respondents in Abuja expressed concerns over the rate of the population growth. Musa Luka reports.
Population is one of the human factors to be celebrated in the society. Any society that fails to grow in population is at risk of extinction. This gave rise to nations to track down their population growth to harness their social realities. But in most cases, with high population, there is expectation of great human capital, higher economic growth and production capacity, among others. In Nigeria, census was conducted in 2006, marking Nigeria's population to 143 million. From 2006 to date, there is an increase with 73 million, marking Nigeria's population to be 216 million, making the country the 6th most populous country in the world. However, experts have warned that the current population growth has consequences if not speedily addressed. They said there is need for government and all stakeholders to take urgent measures to address the situation. Abuja residents expressed irritation with the government's inability to harness the population for national development.
It's supposed to be a blessing, but we failed to utilize the number. Because, for example, in China today, anything produced in China, if you own a company in China, first of all, you are assured of the markets in your country because the population is there. But in Nigeria here, where the government failed to educate the citizen, many of us are not employed. Many of us are not educated. So, in other words, the population now become a cause, because if you check what is happening in the country today, is the insecurity, the hunger, this is linked to the high population that government failed to plan for.
Nigerian population, instead of being a blessing, is a curse to Nigeria because the government have failed to prepare for the incoming population and hereby making the population to be a curse to Nigeria.
The number of people is always a blessing. Singleness does not fight a war, whether it is poverty or military or banditry or terrorism. I think it's good, it's population to invest. But then we must inject adequate, sufficient guideline to maintain life, housing, where to live, and then the job to do, yes, and then what to eat. This is the something of life.
Musa Luka, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The RN Egon, and paramount ruler of Egon in Nasarawa State, Bala Angbazu, is dead. The Dangaladima Egon, James Angbazu, confirmed the development on Wednesday in Lafia. He said the RN Egon died on Wednesday at the age of 89 after a protracted illness. Angbazu, who was installed on July 11, 1981, died after 41 years on the throne. Government and stakeholders have been called upon to give youth a helping hand to enable them contribute their quota to the development of the nation. Kabir Lawal, who spoke with a cross-section of youth in Abuja, said many young people are struggling to make ends meet, and with the rising level of unemployment in the country, they are resorting to menial jobs. The report.
Menial workers are often classified as low-income earners in the society because of the nature of the job. However, youths do not picture themselves handling such jobs. But lack of employment in the country has forced these youths to be engaged in such manual jobs. Some youths revealed to Trust TV correspondent that before these at times, things were better. But going by the high cost of living and difficulties in getting jobs made them to take on anything that can put food on the table.
Like we now here that we not have enough cash to buy some instrument. So we have to come and look for small things because the country now come like so let's get me now like this. My mother don't call me now and say I send 2,000 for her. And you small 10,000 I don't gather now I send 2,000 for her like this. You see? Family now me be first born but still. So if you go, man, make person help you, man, make you open shop for you. Okay, bros, I do so well, fashion designer, if I sew for you.
They called on well-meaning Nigerians and the government to come up with programs and projects that should change the current and ugly narrative.
Politicians, they don't want to give us work, to do. They say go work. We find school go, they don't give us school. The education, man, we thank God, we try, we read, we write, we defend ourselves for some kind of places. And the small power we get, don't be say we get job rich like the way we work. But we see they appreciate, they don't say that's stealing. Now we will not want.
Some of them even showed off their musical skills.
Life Nigeria, everything at turn by turn. If your turn rich, bros go blow. If your turn rich, bros go hammer. I don't think one day they go lie on me.
Observers believe young people are in their need of change that can give them opportunity to be part of meaningful development in the country and beyond.
It is of paramount importance that in life, no talent is wasted. This is what they do here, and they sing, dance with joy to make ends meet and put food on the table for themselves. In Abuja, Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News.
And on the foreign scene, now Sri Lanka has declared a nationwide state of emergency on Wednesday, hours after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country. A statement by the Prime Minister's office says the emergency is declared to deal with the situation in the country. Thousands of protesters demanding that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also step down rallied outside his office compound, and some scaled the walls as the crowd roared its support, waving Sri Lankan flags and tossing water bottles to those heading inside. Sri Lanka's embattled president flew out of the country to the Maldives early Wednesday in a probable prelude to his resignation after months of widespread protests against the island nation's worst ever economic crisis. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.